We're back, people, and today we're bringing on film on Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphins quarterback, and he's been playing amazing this season. And just versus the Panthers, he cooked again. He's been probably the best quarterback in the NFL this season, in my opinion, because even his worst games, he still played fine, not at a decent level, while every other quarterback has had some horrible performance. Tua's just accuracy, anticipation, reading defenses, his downfield, pushing the ball with timing, and then his eye manipulation of the second level, the third level, understanding where to go to the ball with the ball. Just the command of the offense has been so great this year. And if you watch film, you know he's had this ability for years, and now he's just in the right situation to take advantage of it. And it's really fun to watch. I'm so happy for him. He deserves it for sure. And even though the Dolphins went down 14-0, you had no worries at all. In this offense, they had a slow start on both sides, and then they just came out, let Tua take control. They run this two-man route concept down the field with the Tyreek cheat motion. Time this up perfectly. They, see to this side of the field, two guys playing in that quarters position. They clear this out, and Tua throws this with timing. If he waits, a lot of QBs, might wait before the break. This guy could easily, cut this off if it's, a thrown ball because he's trying to read this, but just gets there with great, anticipation. Just when he releases this ball, it's so special. And to do this, with the timing, he hits that back foot, the ball's out. Tyreek has not broken. He sees all the space is going to open up. He can't wait because it's going to close very fast. These windows do not stay open very long. And people will be he's throwing to wide open receivers. The anticipation is a big part of why it looks wide open. And this is a throw, 20 plus yards down the field. Other QBs do not make this throw consistently, and Tua does it nearly every single time. Watching his film every single week, breaking it down, truly special to watch. Playing at a higher level than any QB right now, in my opinion. And it's definitely a lot to do with him in this offense. I know other players playing some great play calling, some great execution by the receivers and the O-line, but Tua is probably the biggest part of that, whole machine to get this thing going, and he just didn't miss a beat at all versus the Panthers. Tua's done a really good job on third downs this season, just identifying spaces. They go empty out here, and a lot of times when you go empty like this, you can find some looks pre-snap, and all he's got to do, Panthers, go into quarters like this, and all he has to do is read that linebacker. The number 2 and number 3 sit down. You take a look. This linebacker, he's cheating to this side of the field. This guy's getting pressured up here, so he knows he has Barrios with all this room. If this works up, number 2 works up vertically, Barrios should be open. This linebacker freezes long enough. He looks to this side to hold him with his eyes and then comes back, hits him with perfect timing, just executing, getting these plays. He makes them look super easy. It doesn't look like anything crazy, but this is just, very, very good quarterback play, understanding what the defense is giving you and just converting those third downs, not trying to do anything too crazy. Going to show this play for the great McDaniel play calling. They get the orbit motion with Ahmed, make it look like you're going to run the behind the back sort of sweep play that they run all the time. And they have Tyreek just slightly outside shade with the tight end here, and then you just have him work on some jet motion, or not jet, but have him come across it would be a jet type motion, but after the play, and then Smythe gets to be your lead blocker because he's just right behind him, and it just works perfectly. You get Hill out in space, great play calling, and then it's technically a Tua pass, so he gets some yards as well. 2nd and 7 play, here we go. Tua finds Waddle on this route right here, this return route to the inside, just throw him with some perfect timing. Panthers look like, they're rotating into some they're playing quarters near the top up here. This guy cheating to this side of the field. He could take number 1 on the slant, but he doesn't love that this guy's sitting right here if he didn't throw this right on the break. So he's waiting for Waddle to come open on this, press up into it, and look at he's already preparing to throw before Waddle has turned his back here. And you throw this ball with timing like this, and you have a receiver like Waddle who can just change directions. This guy has no chance to take away that window. This guy slips and falls, but you hit him right in stride, allows him to get upfield. You just convert those first downs. The timing, anticipation, these throws don't seem like anything crazy. When you really go back and watch the film, when you're throwing the ball on time like that, you're in the rhythm of this offense. It's nearly impossible to stop, and it all starts with Tua, and not a lot of QBs play at that level of anticipation, have that level of anticipation skills like Tagovailoa has. Then he gets the Raheem touchdown here, which is a beautiful, design by Mike McDaniel. He motions Smythe outside, then he loops back around on the orbit motion, and then you throw the swing pass to Raheem. He has some options here too. This is If he can take the fade if he likes the look of it. He thinks, Tyreek doesn't absolutely smoke him off the line. So he decides, come off of that, take this swing pass, hit him in stride. Sometimes quarterbacks struggle to throw a simple swing pass. It's not always the easiest thing, but hitting him right in stride into the chest and Smythe getting out there, perfect timing to block off the linebacker, gets you an easy walk-in touchdown. So really beautiful play design and then pretty solid decision for Tua. Nothing too crazy, but just, operating within the offense when you need to, and then making special plays down the field when that presents itself. Then they get down the field after some big Mostert runs, who we'll see. I'll break down some later in this week. They fake the toss, bootleg, and I know some people are like, why didn't he just throw it to Tyreek? I think the reason for this is if you watch this live, because Tyreek's his first read, obviously, fake the toss. He gets around the blitzing corner right here, and then as he reads Tyreek, he's looking right here and he thinks, oh, this route's kind of dead. 41's taking it away, but for some reason 41 turns his back to the ball and is trying to gain a bunch of depth, so he never sees Tyreek. But Tua thinks he's covered, so he goes to his second option, which is Waddle, and throws it right away. And then Smythe was his last option, so he didn't even look to Durham yet. So this makes sense why he threw to Waddle, because Waddle is still open, and this is not an easy throw to make. This is arm talent, guys. If you have a weak arm right there, that ball gets picked off. You don't throw that ball in that perfect location, it's an interception, you throwing it back across your body like this. If this guy sees this could easily be picked off, but he just puts it in a great spot. That guy had to change direction and then gets, the nice touchdown of Waddle, just creating out in space because he had to make a DB miss, come off his first read, doing things, that people said he couldn't, but he's doing all those things at a very high level this season. I really love this play from Tua. This is a 3rd and 10 situation. They're showing pressure here pre-snap, but then 49 ends up dropping out, and then they bring a blitzing DB, and look at him just speed this up. Panthers drop into cover 3. He sees all this space. He knows, I can go with this ball here if this safety opens up. So he recognizes this. He sees this safety open his hips. He knows as soon as the safety opens his hips, it's going into cover 3. He's going to be middle of the field. They're not playing quarters like they're presenting pre-snap. So he has this Waddle space. All he has to do is see this linebacker open up this way towards the middle of the field. They're bringing pressure. He feels this pressure coming off, so he speeds up his timing, gets that ball out. That's amazing. He's usually within the rhythm of the offense. Everything's, timed out perfectly. But he speeds up his timer here because he knows he's getting blitzed. And then throws a perfect strike accurately, even though he's sped up. And it's beautiful. Hits Waddle perfectly. Allows him to protect himself. And he gets the ball out early. If he throws the ball any later, Waddle gets destroyed. That is very, that's such a high-level quarterback move that sometimes, people might not realize while watching live. But that stuff right there from Tua, really good. Then the Dolphins go back to the play that they've scored on multiple times this season, at least very similar, slightly different motions each time, but getting Tyreek one-on-one at the bottom. And they're just running quarters to the bottom of the screen here. This guy's quarters, but basically matched up man-to-man because he's one-on-one. This safety doesn't get enough depth to the outside to be a deep half guy. He's still staying close enough to the hash, so he's just a quarters defender. And if Tua likes what he sees here, which he does, he's just going to, look you off pre-snap to freeze the safety long enough. They motion out Barrios, try to get a little bit of the flow of the defense this way. And it's all about timing at this point. And then, boom, once you do that, get back to your timing. Start to release this ball as Tyreek is getting even, about to, fly past the receiver. The safety now has no chance to get there. You put the ball on a pretty good line down the field. Accurate throw. His deep ball has been excellent this season. I know, he doesn't have the strongest arm in the league. You don't need to be completing verticals a lot of the time. The only time, you really need that super strong arm is when you're off script, throwing off base and trying to hit a really tight window. But if you're throwing with, timing and good accuracy, that's really all you need to be a good vertical shot thrower, especially to someone like Tyreek. Let him run out of the ball, throw with a little bit of touch, throw with some velocity at times, depending on certain situations. And they keep doing this play on 3rd and medium and scoring every time. And then you get, the Tyreek backflip that they're not going to show on the Scott because the NFL, the no fun league. This is one of the Tua's incompletions. Probably one of his misses of the day. The play action, speed up your process. He's feeling some pressure. Now, this could be one of two things. It could just be Tua missing, or it could just be a little bit of a miscommunication. Maybe Tua's because he's throwing with anticipation. This is what happens when you throw with anticipation a lot of times. The way the Dolphins are so efficient with it is actually insane because you see QBs throw with anticipation, but if him and the receiver aren't on the same page, those plays either easily can turn into this or turnovers. And, Tyreek breaks maybe a little bit later than he expected, and that's why he missed. So I'm guessing it's a little bit of a combination of things. I think maybe Tyreek broke a little bit later, and he looked, after the play a little shaken up, changing direction. So I don't think he got out of his break as cleanly as he would have liked. And then I think Tua was sped up a little bit in the pocket, so he wasn't as accurate as he wanted to be. So I think he still threw the ball a little too low away, but I think Tyreek should have been maybe a step closer and had a chance to catch this. Just a combination of things, being off script, or not being off script, but just not being on the same page. And these things are going to happen, but the fact that they don't happen that often is really great, and it's such a good sign for this offense. Go watch some other teams play football. It's not even close to what the Dolphins are doing offensively. It's really, really insane what they're able to do, especially even after having a slow start and how many points they still ended up with this game. Tyreek Hill motioning across, getting him the ball. Tua out of this, the timing, the everything. Love it. This is perfect placement. They rotate into cover 3. So he, first of all, the play action, or not the little bit of a play action there, but they pull this guard across, creates this clean pocket, great feet in the pocket from Tua as well. And everything's about timing. He sees this space opening up. This guy rotates down. He's becoming this flat defender over here. They're clearing this out, and he's reading the safety. He sees the safety open his hips, and look at this. He's already preparing to throw. This ball is being prepared to throw. He hits that back foot, and then look at the placement as well. He flattens out Tyreek, because Tyreek was drifting a little bit towards the safety, but he flattens him out with the angle of the ball, so then Tyreek can work away from that safety, avoid that tackle, and then makes an amazing play after the catch. Gets a little bit tired, needs an IV, cramping up a little bit. But this is such a good play from Tua. Great feet to open up like this. That's some good hip movement. He looks so much healthier than he did in his first season. And then just the timing and placement of this throw is perfect. It's, 20 plus yards down the field. This is like that first play I showed. He's doing this nearly every single time they throw that. He is throwing that accurately and with good anticipation. Pretty simple slant to Jalen Waddle up here, but just understanding of what you're seeing. Panthers rotate into cover 3, but he sees the space. When this guy motions across, look at this linebacker. He sees the linebacker go to this side of the field because they technically have 3 receivers over here with the running back included. So they want to have more numbers to this side to match this up. And they're bringing some pressure. So he sees 5 coming. He sees this guy open up his hips. He knows he has the natural leverage advantage at the top from what he saw pre-snap. Just needs Waddle to win. If he throws the ball with timing, hits him right in the chest, you pick up a nice 9 yards on first down just for making a nice pre-snap read, understanding what defenses are doing. Sometimes things can just be this easy for an offense. Tua, Tyreek just continue to put on a show in this Panthers game. You have Waddle on the inside. They throw the deep ball outside the numbers this time, which is nice to see. In the Giants game, they threw a lot outside the numbers, a lot more than usual. This game, they were attacking the middle of the field as they could. They get, the quick play action, the timing here. He could throw this to Waddle. It looks like his first read is Waddle, and he kind of has that advantage. I'm not sure why he doesn't take it. Usually, I think he just didn't anticipate that it would be this open, and usually, he's throwing with a bunch of anticipation. Plus, also, he sees that Tyreek has the ideal matchup as well. And if he holds on to this, you can easily be picked off if he throws it too late by this guy coming across late. So now he starts to throw this. Look at the anticipation. Tyreek has not even started to break yet. And then you get the ball out there with all this space because Tyreek is so good at creating separation. And that's just a combination of your best players doing what they do best and being on the same page. And that's how you get big plays down the field. Another 20-plus yard completion, mostly air yards that time. They really kept doing this, type of play. The orbit motion this time with the play action behind the back, slightly different. But it creates that sort of natural, play action, natural pocket with the sliding to the left, bring the tight end back across. You get this play right here. And then just a 2-man route concept down the field. They did this a lot this game. This is going back to the roots with Tyreek and Waddle. They kept doing this. They see cover 3. The Panthers actually play this pretty good. But, look at, this box of defenders. And Waddle ends up dropping this. He might have been destroyed, but, this throw is elite. That is amazing placement. Doesn't really get better than that. It's not really a hospital ball because when Tua threw it, that safety wasn't even close to that play yet, but he made a good break, good read, and Waddle should have hung on to it for sure. He ended up only getting hit on the right side, but that is an absolute dime. Just talking about the ball placement of this to get this behind this defender. Look at this guy trying to get there and just right past his hand, and Waddle isn't able to hang on. Unfortunate, but that is an absolute dime down the field. Another play that's around the 20-yard mark where on an inbreaker, and Tua is probably the best at that right now in the NFL. Just good coverage identification. 3rd and 8, they go empty. They love to go empty on like these third down situations. We're not like super long, but they go empty. This time they don't have, it's a single side, it's just 3x2. He identifies the guy who's like the number 2 lined up over Berrios. Look at all the depth he has. And the Panthers just rotate into a cover 3, and he's matched up versus Berrios. I don't know why I give him that much depth, but he just sees that right away, takes advantage of it, sees he still doesn't, shoot down right away, peeks at the corner, sees that he's not like clouding down to become the flat defender. So he's just like, okay, quick, easy catch to Berrios. Berrios just continues to convert third downs for this team, to making it look easy whenever he has to get those situations, not trying to force anything too much unless, the 1/3, he will force it like the big play to Tyreek, which wasn't really a force, but that's him taking a shot. But he's also, got this in his bag for sure. Last play that we're going to break down from this great game from Tua, just really almost perfect play. He keeps doing it. Not exactly sure what this play was, like almost because like they do the play action boot. Almost feels like something is weird's going on, because this feels like the only real option, but it almost feels like he's just clearing out. Like Smythe actually has no shot here. He's double teamed, so he can't take that. And Tyreek's just jogging. And I don't think this is like a designed jog. I think he might have just not known the play, because he just peeks back, and then he's like, well, might as well run the dig, and then he throws a perfect ball low to protect him from the safety, and he speeds up his process. I think it was just a slight off script thing. I think there's some miscommunication, but they still make it work down the field. And that's a quick release. Look at this release and the velocity he puts on this ball once he recognizes Tyreek's going to be there. And this safety breaks down pretty fast, but he puts it low, away, protect him so he doesn't get destroyed down the field, and you pick up a first down on 2nd and 11. Tua playing at such a high level. A lot of the offenses, you'll see more videos throughout the week, but Tua, he can't keep getting away with this. It's just too good, and I love to see it. Prove those haters wrong. Finally, getting some respect around the league. It's one of the best, and at this point, in my opinion, he's the MVP right now. I don't know who else it would be, but Tua just keeps performing week after week. I know it's the worst team in the NFL, but you saw how other teams looked this week versus some of the bad, not great teams, like the Niners lost to a P.J. Walker Browns. Browns are not bad, but they had a backup quarterback in and still lost. Eagles lost to the Jets, who also have a very good defense, but have another terrible quarterback, and they still lost. The Bills should have lost to the Giants last night, but got blessed. These are still NFL teams, and you got to beat them. And they had a terrible, terrible start in the first quarter, going down 14-0, and turned around and blew them out like it was nothing. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.